Hey guys, AJ here, back with another live for you. Yes, so we didn't do one on Monday, but I figured we'd just do one on Friday. Guys, it's been a long week, but at least the weather's good where I am over here on the East Coast. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you're doing well. I hope that your week hasn't been that stressful. I hope that your weekend's going to be good, and I hope that you watch the Super Bowl and it's really good. I'm rooting for the Eagles, guys. Yeah, go Birds, right? I'm a Seahawks fan, but I have to root for one bird, so I'll go for the Eagles. Almighty Cornholio's in the house. What's going on, man? Yes, you are first. Guys, I'm gonna let you know about me. I always try and be early because I'm either early or I'm late, right? I'm never just on time. It's like physically impossible for me to get anywhere on time. So I'm that guy that shows up to the airport like 3.5, 4 hours early, right? Like I will show up to your house and literally wait on the street in the car and then like run in and knock on your door for the dinner or whatever. I can just, if I leave with what I think is enough time to get there on time, I'm always late. So I'm always super duper early. So usually uh father son's in the house. What's going on, man? Happy Friday. Um yes. and cats. Right? Oh man. So yeah, so guys, um yeah, I I guess I'm gonna start off with I made the video the other day with that young sick guy. I mean, not young sick. Young that Matt is his name. Matt Eddie. Eddie is his name. And guys, how do you guys? There are guys that I forget. Like, how do you guys feel when you stumble across a clip of a guy that you completely forgot, and it's like watching TCAP live all over again for the first time? It was like this feeling. It's like a feeling of elation that I just can't describe. Like watching this clip of TCAP, the original that I either I watched it once or I missed it, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a bit out there that I haven't seen. So it was like taking me back to college and sitting there. So it was a great time. So I hope you guys liked the video. That Matt was it? I would say Matt Eddie guy. He was quite the doofus. So, but yeah, it was awesome seeing that whole thing. I also want to say, guys, when I do videos from now on, I think what I'm gonna do is do the chat log and then do the Chris Hansen cut of the uh interview part with Chris. But then there's the uncut ones. What I can do is do those live because they're longer, and it would be cooler to like have you guys either sit in or call in, because those ones are actually live, and the interrogations too. Because doing the actual chat log plus the uncut one is going to be like an hour long for each of them. So you guys will try and look forward to that, where we have the interrogations and the uncut versions of the interviews on a live. So that'll actually justify like all of us being here for like an hour and a half on a live. So, but yeah, guys. So getting on this here, let me see. There was an article that I posted yesterday, and it was called "Convicted of S3x Crimes but with No Victims." It's a New York Times article, and it's basically criticizing the stings that all of us know and love, right? And it's basically saying, "Oh, he didn't really do anything," and this guy's mom, this guy is a total loser, right? And his mom is trying to advocate on his part and say, just what all these pretos think of. Well, it was just chat. I wasn't doing anything. And that's what this entire article is trying to argue, is that he didn't really do anything. He didn't really think this person was however old or whatever. It's like, yes, he did. What do you talk? How do you look at this evidence? How do you look at the chat logs? How do you look at the fact that he drove there and say that the whole time he was just joking? Oh, he was just playing. And it's like, I understand that you got to love your kids and all, but how delusional can you be? And it's just funny. So I get to the let me share my screen here, guys. Give me a moment. One moment, please. Right? So you can see that this this look at this guy. This is a total dumbass here with his mom. It's like, dude, are you grown? Like, how old are you, dude? And you got to have your mommy like wrap her arm around you. Like, wow. So here he is. And I pulled the article up on New York Times, guys. I don't subscribe to the New York Times, so I hit the free article limit. So I was like, damn, how am I going to be able to share this with you guys? But some guy, IOPIN MTG stuff, actually like has a video about this. So props to you, dude. I don't know where you are, but you are a hero. Oh, he's a Magic the Gathering channel. But dude, you really are like an unsung hero, man. So we can jump into this video because he makes a video where he kind of reads the whole article. So that saves you guys listening to me reading this article for however long, and we can all just enjoy it together. What I'll do, since we're going to watch the video, is I'm going to drop the link now. So for anyone who wants to come up, hold on. We can just kind of watch the link here. So if anyone wants to come up, I'll drop the link again later on. Yeah, feel free to jump on. But let's just jump into this, guys.
I wanted to do a completely different video today. This is a New York Times article. Convicted of sex crimes but with no victims. An online sting operation to catch child predators snared hundreds of men. What were they really guilty of? Now, right off the bat, this is an article that it's written by a Pulitzer Prize winner, so it's I guess it's a good article, but it certainly has an agenda. The writer, Michael Weinrib, clearly does not like these things. I love these things. I love To Catch a Predator, that show from the 2000s. It's a great show.
See, guys, this IOPIN Magic the Gathering stuff. He's one of us, guys. He's one of us.
It's an awful show to be on. For those unaware, there are, well, for the sake of this article, there are undercover police who go online and pose as teenagers, preteens, with the intent of having pedophiles basically contact them. The police never contact people first. They can't. They have to let the other person initiate the conversation. And if things turn to sex, well, you'll just see. Jace Hamprick worked as an apprentice laborer during the week, renovating homes around Vancouver, Washington, and at a neighborhood gas station on weekends.
Oh, guys, I just want to let you know that Vancouver, Washington is literally a hellhole. It's so bad. Don't ever. Well, okay. When I lived in the Northwest, Vancouver was terrible. Vancouver, Canada was nice, or used to be nice, but Vancouver, while Washington was bad, right? And it's like all the meth heads and everything lived there. But from what I heard, I have to recant the statement. It's been gentrified because a lot of the people who can't afford to live in Portland moved to Vancouver because it was so cheap. Meaning that I guess the housing prices went up, but you still wouldn't catch me dead there. And yes, Evil Little McNuggets, yes, I do agree with you. He says, I find it really suspect whenever someone criticizes these things, because what did they really do? Exactly. Yep. That's true. I think all of us are for accountability, and a lot of America at this point isn't it? They want to dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge, right?
Much of the rest of his life was online. He was hardcore, amassing a collection of more than 200 games. People told him it wasn't smart to be so cut off from reality, but his internet life felt rich. As a dungeon master.
You notice what he said, cut off from reality? So they're setting up the excuses of why he did what he did, right? He was cut off from reality. He was in another world, please.
Master in Dungeons and Dragons. All right, stop right there. We already know he's a loser. And I say this as somebody who likes Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, and I played Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that doesn't make you a loser per se, but hey.
All right, I feel bad saying that, but look, I mean, he's in a story about people who get caught online trying to have sex with teenage kids. Okay, he controlled other players' destinies. As a video warrior, he was known online by his nom de guerre and was constantly messaging fellow gamers, particularly his best friend Simon. Though the two had never met in person, okay, first of all, your best friend can't be somebody you've never actually met.
Facts. That's true. All of my best friends are people that I met in public, but hey, I'm an extrovert, so it is what it is.
I'm sorry, it just can't. All right, that's like saying your prison pen pal is your best friend. It's just weird. All right, so we've already established this guy he's not all there. Over the last few years, they paired up as teammates playing Rainbow Siege 6 and Rocket League and grew close. At 20, Hambrick was still living at home with his mother to save money for college. Look, I'm not going to get on him for living at home at 20. Most kids are in college at that age.
And I like how they're dropping that he's into fantasy books and all this crap and online stuff as like they're setting those up as hints or what of justifications for how we got caught. I don't know. I do all this stuff, guys. I play games online. I can knock out a good fantasy novel or a Warhammer 40K book in a couple of days, and I don't go after 12-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And you can't expect them to just live on their own just like that. But you know what? At 20, you're technically not a kid. You are an adult. Legally, you are an adult, and that's important to remember. He was a voracious reader who could knock off a 1,000-page fantasy novel in 2 days. People liked him. He made them laugh. When he and his mother lived in places that had board games, he was a regular, and his kindness could be surprising.
Yeah, too kind. I just asked the person that he tried to go and see or the person he was chatting with.
He would spend morning handing out sandwiches to the hungry. Oh, he's like Mother Teresa, except he got wrapped up in an internet sting. The problem he knew.
I like this guy. And I just planned on just reading this article. Joshua's in the house. What's going on, my friend? Right on. Happy Friday, you guys. So for everyone who just joined, this live is about that article that I posted that convicted of S3x crimes, but with no victims, right? And I was going to just read the article, but I hit my free article limit for the New York Times, so I couldn't bring it up. So I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? But then I was trying to find another outlet to find the article, and this small YouTube channel here, great guy, he actually did a video on this, and he's actually a TCAP fan too. So what we're doing is listening to him read the article, which I think is going to make it more, easier for me to react to instead of me trying to read this whole thing. So
was that he was a nerd. Sometimes he was too open with people. As a boy, he took medication for ADHD. His mother, Kathleen, describes him affectionately as introverted, sensitive, immature, coddled, nerdy son. They are very close. She would prod him to go out more, but he wasn't someone who could meet women at a bar. In fairness, I'm not someone who can meet women at a bar.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the New York Times. Guys, I'm not a fan of any mainstream news anymore. I mean, I either do my own research for articles or whatever, and terrestrial news like cable or all that, it's just dumb. Like CNN, MSNBC, Fox, it's all trash. Guys, find your own news. You know what I'm saying? Like find articles to read or do your research on your own, or find anyone that has your political views that is more into politics or whatever, and then just listen to them. Or what I recommend doing, find someone that's either Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Find a person on both sides of the aisle. Well, I do three. I have a guy that's independent, I watch. I have a guy that's super conservative, I watch, and a guy that's super liberal. I watch all three, right? And just because, like, I vote based on issues, so I want to see what all sides are all saying. But I'm not just all one way, because that just kind of skews your worldview, right? So as much as I can't stand people on certain issues, I have to at least want to know what they're saying.
I'm not. I don't have the confidence.
Yes, Josh, they are all liars and propaganda. That is true. All those knuckleheads on the news, guys. This is how you know news is crap. And I'm trying to not swear because it makes me so angry. They will do a half hour or 45-minute long segment on MSNBC or on Fox News about a tweet. One effing tweet. How in the world do you have four knuckleheads that you call pundits or specialists or whatever talking about a tweet for 45 minutes? Like, that's what the world has come to, you guys. I don't even watch. See, it pisses me off so much. I don't even watch, right, anymore. So, and also, guys, AJ's tip, guys, don't even check the news until after lunch. That's what I do. I don't even look at any news in the morning at all, because something will piss me off and I'll be like irritated all day. The only thing that I do is check Instagram for pictures of like puppies or something or whatever. You know what I mean? Or like cats doing stupid stuff. You know, that's what social media that I check. But I don't even look at the news until midday. I'm telling you, it'll completely change your entire existence. So let's just jump back into this.
I don't like bars that much either. So I can't get on him for that. Online, it was different. Starting when he was 18, a few times a month, he clicked through the casual encounters section of Craigslist, looking for sex. Okay.
Guys, who remembers the casual encounters part of Craigslist? I forgot about that. Oh, man, you guys. See, now we have like Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, or whatever. But back in the day, that wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like, you had to go to Craigslist. Oh, man. You got... Oh, my God. I have a couple of stories about a couple of friends of mine that met people on Craigslist. And let's just say things didn't go the way that they thought they were going to go. You guys, hear what he said. He said, I posted there in high school. Somebody found it. Oh, man, that is hilarious. You guys. Oh, man, that is so funny. Yeah, I had forgotten about that. Oh, man. Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, I knew a guy where where he went to the casual encounters section on Craigslist, and he met this girl who was like, yeah, I'm gonna tie you up. Well, he's like, that's kind of odd, but screw it, right? So he was up in this chick's bedroom, and she was, tied up to the thing, and her husband came home, and she was like, actually, here, I was gonna go to the store. So her and the husband went. I think she thought that she could get out of it by distracting her husband, but he was still tied to the bed. So he's alone in a stranger's house, tied to this thing. You know what I mean? So, Alex, what's going on, my friend? So what's going on is that this is about this article that I found. It's called "Convicted of Sex Crimes, but with no victim." And you can click on the link. It's in the community post that I did yesterday, and it's about this New York Times author. Obviously has a problem with TCAP style investigations, because this knucklehead here with his mom, they're trying to say that he was lured in and entrapped by the police. So I tried to pull the article up again, but I hit my free article limit with the New York Times, so I can't view the article. But this guy here made a video about this article, and he is a TCAP fan also. So I figured that we could just watch as he reads the article. So yeah.
In fairness, I'm not someone who can meet women at a bar. I'm not. I don't have the confidence. I don't like bars. It's creepy. I'm sorry. It's just creepy.
That MPA in the house.
There were so many listings, but when he tried messaging,
here we go.
A month, he clicked through the casual encounters section of Craigslist, looking for sex. Okay.
Who remembers on Mad TV, lowered expectations? Oh man.
Let's start there. I've been on Craigslist before.
Craigslist.
Never have I gone to the casual encounter section. I didn't even know that one existed until I read this article. And now I'm going to go to Craigslist. No, I'm not. I mean, just, it's creepy. I'm sorry. It's just creepy. There were so many listings, but when he tried messaging, it was rare to get a response. If people did respond, they often went dark after a few emails. Users had to certify they were 18 or older, but at the time, Craigslist didn't verify users' age. Okay. People describe their appearance in personal ads.
Do you see, guys, how they're setting up the exact same BS defenses that they used to Chris Hansen? Role-playing chat room. You got to be 18 to register. They're all the same BS that were saying to Chris Hansen. This knuckleheaded author, this article, is setting up as an excuse for why this guy did this.
He sent photos, then sent photos that didn't match. Some seemed to enjoy role-playing. Once he replied to a post describing an attractive 21-year-old, but when he arrived at the address she gave him, an old...
He said he wants replied to a post describing an attractive 21-year-old, but when he arrived at the address, an old man answered the door. He got out of there fast. Dude, you think he wouldn't do it again? You know, what an idiot.
An old man answered the door. He got out of there fast. Every once in a while it worked. In the past few years, he had sex with 5 or 6 women he met this way. Ugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this
he's
is
right.
just,
I don't know. That whole
all right. But hey, look, whatever. On Friday after work in February 2017, Hambrick came across a casual encounters W for men, women searching for man, post that scene meant for him. Just gamer girl sitting home on a sunny day, it read. We can chat as long as I'm not living. I don't know what these youngsters mean.
Leveling.
So whatever that means. Hambrick emailed back. Sounds like fun. What game you playing? I am hooked on Alien Isolation, gamer girl replied. Forget sex, Hambrick wrote. Let me come watch. I haven't gotten that one yet. Adding that he was 20. 15 minutes later, gamer girl replied that she was 13. Boom.
So,
boom.
Yeah,
right?
Boom. Look. Boom. The person said that they were 13, and he reached out to this person on the article. Gracie's in the house. What's going on? Happy Friday, all you guys. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you guys. Uh-oh. Alex is here. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, what's up? Just thought I'd stop in and say hey.
Cool, man. I dropped the link early for anyone that wants to jump on, but I was just replying to this video here. I mean, what do you think so far, Alex?
Well, I'm just getting up to speed on this. I actually have some interesting thoughts on this issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we talked before about how I think people like this, particularly people who do commit crimes against children and things like that. I think there should be a maximum punishment carried out on them, right?
Yeah.
And that just has to do with justice, right? You take something from a victim that cannot be given back, right? Therefore, the justice demands there be some kind of restitution punishment. So, but it gets into some more gray areas, I think, when there is stuff like that going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and again, it's not like I don't enjoy the show and appreciate a lot of the things that happen, and the perpetrators, they do take action to go out and do something,
Yep.
right?
Intent. Yep.
So there's intent there, but the fuzzy area that it gets into is, you know, who exactly is the victim, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I can appreciate at least there being some discussion around it, right? Not saying that these people are innocent by any means, not saying that there should not be punishment, but I appreciate the room for discussion on it. So
Well, I just don't listen. This article so far. Oh, he had ADHD. He spent a lot of time online. He played Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're the biggest. What they say on the Breakfast Club, neo maxi zoom dweeby, right? It doesn't matter. You're the biggest nerd geek in the world. It doesn't excuse going to meet a person that said that they were 13 years old.
I agree. I agree completely. It doesn't matter how big of a loser you are if you're intending to commit a crime like that, right?
Yep.
So
that's true. Yeah. Let's just jump back into this here.
Right there. You cut off contact. Okay? That's what you do. Hambrick was confused. Why did you post an ad in Craigslist if you're 13? You mean 23? Okay. Maybe maybe that's a legitimate question.
He's like, hey, did you accidentally hit 1 instead of 2? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, are you sure that you didn't mean 23? No, she said 13 there, buddy.
I don't know. I have never engaged in conversation with a teenage girl of any kind online. Some things you just don't do.
Yeah,
unlike this guy.
True.
She asked for his cell phone number, and they switched to texting, exchanging photos. Gamer girl was beautifully thought if he wasn't being pranked. Big eyes, cute white cap, soft smile, gazing up at the camera serenely with a really nice set of headphones. Bum, 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 bum. They exchanged a few texts about sex. Okay, whoa. All right. So this person has established that she is 13, and you're going to read down here. She claimed to be 13. You do not exchange.
Oh, and here you go, guys. To skip ahead a little bit. Look, listen to this. Oh, my naughty boy, BOI, 2000s, right? Was this an elaborate game? Again, she claimed to be 13. The photos seemed to tell a different story, and the gamer chair she was seated in looked too expensive for the kid. What kind of reasoning is that? Well, the chair she was sitting in was so expensive. She couldn't be a 13. What kind of knuckleheaded excuse is that? Yeah, I swear, like this is. They took the story that he tried to tell the police. You know what I mean, and just gave it to this idiot who's writing this article. Cartoon Blues in the house. What's going on, my friend? Happy Friday. Who are you saying, Alex?
I was gonna say, I think part of them asking, you know, oh, are you 23? Is they're trying to build into the chat log because they know, okay, if this is a setup, I better have something in there that can raise some doubt.
Yeah,
you know, that's what's going on in their minds, right? At least from what I've seen of all these predators who do that, you know, that's an excuse they can bring is, oh, I thought they were 23. I even asked and I wasn't sure. And, you know, in their minds, you know, if it's going to be a conviction beyond reasonable doubt, then maybe in their minds, that's going to be the reasonable doubt that can get them off.
Absolute facts. I agree 100%. And I'm telling you, only this kid's mom can be trying to make this case. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on.
Well, it's like that chair's too expensive. It's like you ask the kid, oh, where do you live? They send a picture of that house. That looks too nice for a 13-year-old to be able to buy.
That's true. That's true.
So the chair thing doesn't make any sense.
That's true. Because you saw a Flagler Beach house. That house is huge. Like, who would think that that a kid is in that big house alone. That's crazy. But either way, guys, we have sense. So we think so logically that none of us can end up in this. You know what I'm saying? So let's just jump back into this.
Texts about sex with a 13-year-old girl. You don't do it. Okay? You cut off all contact immediately. You report them. You don't continue to talk sexually. But he was already hoping for more than just sex. I don't get out much, he texted. I feel like if you got to talking, it might go somewhere. You're a beautiful gamer. I have no problem hanging out with you. That's cool, Gamer Girl replied.
Look at that. He said, I can be real bad if you're into bondage. Ugh.
What about that eating out stuff? Yes, I will still do that. Okay. I don't know if the eating out stuff is all right, but whatever. Oh, my naughty boy. Okay.
He sounds like me when I read chat lots of the times when you lose your voice, like, oh wait, what?
First of all, is this the extent of the sexual chat that these guys had?
No, dude, there's pages. There's probably pages and pages and pages. Because he seems like one of those knuckleheads. I know, right? What about this eating out? Does he not know what eating out means? Oh man. And then, but no, this guy seems like he doesn't seem like a fast mover. He seems like he'd be trying to type days and days and days with her,
Article doesn't claim. I mean, these chats can be enormously long. Maybe this was some of the tamer stuff. I don't know, but some of these texts, these chats can be disgusting. So we don't know the full extent of the text exchange that this guy had with this supposed 13-year-old girl. The photos seem to tell a different story. And the gaming chair she was seated in looked too expensive for a kid. Oh, idiot. Kids don't buy expensive things. Their parents buy it
do.
For
yep,
them.
That's true.
She used slang. A 13-year-old girl probably wouldn't know. Like FTP, expletive, fuck the police. You know what? Kids hear things that are from the 80s, all right? Vulgarities and snide tones.
Look at this. Guys, this is literally like us listening to one of these. I'm getting a down hour vibe from this guy. That's so true. Look, that originated. Her texts were full of LOLs, as if 13-year-olds don't know how to LOL. Was she an immature teenager or a sly adult? What?
Too adult. His texts were full of LOLs. Was she an immature teenager or a sly adult? Her driving directions seemed too specific for 13. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
This guy's hilarious, man.
This guy, he's a nerd and he's an idiot at the same time, okay? and you'll see why in a second. Hamburg texted that he would be driving a red Prius, his mother's, and Gamer Girl replied she would be wearing a gray sweatshirt with ripped jeans. It was a 20-minute drive to the house in suburban Vancouver after stopping for condoms. He's showing intent, okay? You don't buy condoms unless you're planning at some point to have sex. This girl has said she is 13, okay? This is not...
What is wrong with my internet today? It's weird. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Not some innocent kid. He's a 20-year-old man. At some point, you have to be responsible for your actions, and as we soon find out, he's going to have to take responsibility. 3.5 hours after he arrived at 7 p.m., 3.5 hours after their first emails. Okay.
Oh, so, wait, I lied. I lied. So I thought that they were typing for a long time. I guess he was a fast mover. After all, guys, I have been proven incorrect about this nasty Preto piece of trash. He proved me wrong, I guess. I will bite this one, guys.
Half hours earlier, he meets a 13-year-old girl. They talk about sex. 3.5 hours later, he's stopping for condoms. Okay? That's what I call a fast mover. She came to the door just as she'd said, in torn jeans and gray sweatshirt. As beautiful as her photo. She didn't look 13 at all. More like she was in her 20s. You made it, she called out.
So, waved for him so now the whole, she didn't look 13. Yeah, right.
To follow. Court documents would later show. When he got inside, she disappeared down a hallway. Suddenly, 2 police officers wearing bulletproof vests appeared from a back room, ordered him to lie on the floor, and handcuffed him. What's going on? We're going to advise you you're under arrest. Okay, why? We'll explain it in just a moment. Is it possible I could talk to my mom? That's not possible right now. Since
I want my mommy.
Well, that's not exactly a Flagler Beach arrest. Excuse me, sir. You're under arrest. Could you please lay down?
The thing is I know that his mom. Shark Tamer. Yes, this article is against TCAP style stings, right? It's against it, and basically, this author is setting up like that. Okay, this article is called "Convicted of Sex Crimes, but with no victims." So even in that statement alone, it's if you look at Jeff Stacy, it was just talk. I didn't do anything. Or even Wallen, Dr. Wallen guy, he was saying I didn't do anything. What the stupidity there that people honestly think that a guy that did all that effort to go over there wasn't doing anything. It's simplistic, dumb BS. We all know that these guys planned good and darn well to go and do something to a young child. It's just the way it is.
In 2015, nearly 300 men in cities and towns across Washington state have been
Look. Hold on. So nearly 300 men
arrested in online predator sting.
Sorry, guys. So this is 2015. So I had left Washington by then. Doug MPS in the house. What's going on, my friend? Look, since 2003, 300 men in cities and towns.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hey.
Washington State were arrested in online predator stings. Most of them run by State Patrol and codenamed Operation Net Nanny. Net Nanny. Can you imagine that on your court docket? And it says here that you were caught up in Operation Net Nanny. Oh man! Look at that. As many as 2 dozen have been rounded up in a single sting and charged with attempted R-word of a child. As Jace Hambrick. Oh, so he got charged with attempted grape. Yeah, he said if you're role playing, he said even if you were role playing, you need to be removed. That's true. That is so true. Yeah. Let me see here. So he's just gonna get into this.
Things. Most of them run by the State Patrol and codenamed Operation Net Nanny. The men range from age 17 to 77, though about a quarter are 25 or younger. Okay, you know what? 18 to 25, you're an adult man.
That's true.
All right. I just want to throw that out there. You are no longer a child. As many as 2 dozen have been rounded up in a single sting and charged.
Guys, I'm gonna sidebar this real fast. I remember when I first moved to Texas, guys. In Texas, they don't card girls at all. So, I remember when I first got there, I would meet and my friends. We would go to after the bar, and they would, hey, whatever, and there'd be girls there, and they either come up and talk to you, or you don't, and you're like, wait a minute, you look a little young there, and then you would see them get into the bar, and they wouldn't get carded at all. They like where I used to live in Texas, they would never. So it's like, yeah. So yeah, there are places like that, guys. Just play it safe and just go to the bar, have some drinks with your friends, and just ninja vanish, man, because it's not worth the risk. So,
charged with attempted rape of a child, as Jace Hambrick was, even though no actual children were involved. Well, isn't that a good thing?
He's right. That's true. See, there it is. As many as 2 dozen men were rounded up in a single sting and charged, even though no actual children were involved. This sounds like the argument that the predators try and use. They wrote a Pulitzer Prize winning author wrote this article. He's supposed to be a journalist that has some integrity, and he is arguing the same argument that Jeff Stacy, Wallen, who else? That one Matt guy who got tased, Kenneth Brinkman, name any of them. They all tried to argue the same exact thing, and this is sad.
Can I do a little sidebar here? I want to ask the panel. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone have any kids on this panel?
No.
I've got 2. Yep.
Well, because I've always mothers, man. I would so I don't have any kids myself, but the line of which you'd have to leave your child out to dry. I know you're supposed to defend your child.
Look. He said that evil. Like I said, this whole article feels like a self-report from the writer.
Yeah.
Maybe we should check his search engine history.
I know his chat. Yeah,
search his chat logs, right?
Well, yeah, I would hate to have to be faced with what line you'd have to leave your child out to dry, because you're supposed to love your child no matter what, but getting caught in one of these kind of stings, that should be the line, shouldn't it?
Well, justice has to be carried out, right? And are you going to be completely biased? Are you going to have an unbiased view toward your child? I think legally, judicially, you should. That's my perspective. And if your child is guilty, it doesn't mean you stop loving them or anything like that, but you don't prevent what is due to them from being carried out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
true. So I can still love my child. I should still love my child, but I'm not going to if they've done something wrong that is worthy of punishment, I can't get in the way of that.
Yep.
That's not my place. So.
Yeah. Wow. Good insight, Alex. Appreciate that.
Hey, didn't come from me, man. I didn't make it up.
Is that not a good thing that there was no actual child involved?
I know, right?
Well,
emails and texts offering sex were written by undercover officers. The girls in the photos are not 13.
Look at that. Look at this, the same thing. The chats were written by undercover officers, and the girls were not even 13. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. The person set up the scenario where they were 13 years old. Oh man, that is crazy. I don't know, he's lucky that it wasn't a Chris Hansen sting. He's actually exposing himself. This idiot's actually putting himself in the national spotlight. If only Chris Hansen could have got his hands on him.
And on the force. For law enforcement, stings are an efficient way to make high-profile felony arrests and secure convictions. In June 2016, John Garden, a state patrol detective, emailed a fellow trooper about joining.
Wait, about what now? See if you can check it. Okay, John Gard, a state patrol detective, emailed a fellow trooper about joining him on a sting in Spokane. See if you can come play. Chat some guys in. hey guys, let's have some fun with these assholes.
Him on a sting in Spokane. If you can come play and chat some guys in, he wrote, according to the court.
Hilarious.
If you can come play and chat some guys in, he wrote, according to a court filing. The conviction rate in cases that go to trial is about 95%. So men don't.
The conviction rate is 95%. Yeah, hold on. Do you remember the guy who said, I didn't actually do anything, so I should be let go? So that was I'm professional. I dress professional, right? Who was he? Hold on. TCAP. I am professional. Oh yeah. This guy. Let's go fast. I'm really professional, sir. Jazzwinder, hold on. Sorry, wrong page, guys. Jazzwinder Chima is his name. Oh, father son, man. There you go, dude. Father son is the Encyclopedia Chris Hansenica. Okay, that's what we're gonna call him from now on. Hold on. Yeah, here he is. Look at that ugly mug. Yeah, he was the one that was wearing the straight up 2000s Old Navy shirt and then trying to act like I'm very professional, sir. You know, so don't we all, man? Don't we all?
Get that far. There is such shame associated with a sex crime, let alone a child sex crime. While maybe it's a good thing that shame is associated.
There's. Does anyone feel bad, guys? Seriously? The conviction rate in cases that go to trial is about 95%, though most don't get that far. There is such a shame that's associated with sex crime, let alone child sex crime, that a majority of the defendants plead guilty rather than face a jury.
With a child sex crime. Okay, it's one of the most heinous crimes out there. And I'm going to go on record. I was never molested. I've had a good upbringing.
I hope that this language doesn't get Florida PD on us, guys. I think that first time we got yeeted because the copyright for the segment of TCAP. So hopefully none of the language will have Florida PD take us down.
A good childhood. I have an 8-year-old son. I'm very protective of him. I always tell him about stranger danger, okay? I know there are awful people out there. I was a newspaper reporter for 12 years. I've seen some of the worst people ever go through the court system in New Jersey where I worked.
Oh, so he lives in Jersey. Okay.
Okay, so there should be shame associated with child sex crimes. That's not a bad thing. That a majority of the defendants plead guilty rather than face a jury. At least 5 of the men have committed suicide, including a 66-year-old.
So it says, a couple of guys have self-deleted, guys. At least 5 men self-deleted. You know, a good riddance.
On the same operation as Hambrick, who then fled to California.
What? So he got caught. That's right. And then he ran off to California. Wow, that makes me hate him even more because he didn't face any justice at all. Man, oh man, oh man. That's terrible.
Speaking of that, real quick, you know, the number one place that offenders run to is Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, because Alaska has all these. I was reading an article a couple of years ago about how you're literally able to disappear in Alaska, and then you're able to get jobs that you can't normally get as an offender because a lot of you have police officers and like city officials who are offenders because there's such a dire. I mean, you know, if you're in a small town in Alaska that's frozen most of the year and only has 3,000 people, and they need a police officer, I mean, they'll take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of offenders run up to Alaska. Another reason not to go to Alaska.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, guys. Let me just go and find. Let me scroll through this article here. You know what, guys? I have the actual article right here. Hold on. So we don't have to have the commentary. Hold on. Share this tab. Can everyone see this all right?
Yep.
Okay, so where were we? Okay, not naughty boy. Gracie said murderers go to Alaska too. That's true. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. Okay, so
we're right above the picture. So I'm on the article too. So scroll down till you get to the picture of the girl in headphones and scroll up a little bit.
There we are. Sorry, guys. Okay, so analysis of we're right here. Okay, so who then fled to California. As the police, they're moved to make the arrest. Wow, the man, deleted himself. At least 5 men have deleted, including a 66-year-old in the same operation. Okay, no, the 66-year-old moved there. Okay. He said never visit Alaska. Isn't that bad? Man, oh man. Okay, so an analysis of court records in Washington State stings, as well as interviews with police and prosecutors, reveals that most of the men arrested have no felony record. Like, that matters. You know what I mean? Like, that would be like saying, oh, well, this guy stole something from my house. He's never stolen anything from me before. He's still... Guys, this is foolishness, right? Okay. A strong predictor, huh?
This is kind of like saying 100% of first-time criminals haven't committed a crime beforehand.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. That's not even like logic at all. It says a strong predictor of predatory behavior is an obsession with young people porn. But at the time of that isn't true. I mean, you can say yes that most of the people that have done this might have that stuff, but that isn't true. I mean, I'm thinking of even TCAP. They tell you when they go to their house and get their computers if there was child stuff on their computers. I don't think that this is true. I don't know the numbers, but like a strong predictor. But at the time of their arrest, 89% have none in their possession and 92% have no history of violent crime. They are nonetheless sentenced on average to more than 6 years in prison with no chance of parole. That's surprising because it's Washington State, And Washington State is like California.
No, Washington State's worse.
Yeah. Where, anyways, they are nonetheless sentenced on average to more than 6 years in prison with no chance of parole. And according to my analysis of 271 arrests, I was able to confirm. Once released, the men are listed on the state's RSO for at least 10 years and often for life. If anyone feels bad, please let me know, because I certainly don't, right? No, they should be on the RSO for life, 34 years. Father, son, you've been married for 34 years. Congratulations, man.
He's quoting a guy from TCAP.
All right. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. That was what's his name?
Super old guy. His face is in my mind. I can't think of his name.
Father, son, quick.
Yeah, father, son knows.
Father, son knows. What is his name? Oh yeah, Alan Turner. Yeah. The encyclopedia.
These guys, Joshua Tobias and Father, a great job, man.
Dude, these guys clutch, man. Clutch. Okay, so once released, they're on the RSO. Almost all were caught up in Operation Net Nanny, although the sting in which Hambrick, the main character in this, was arrested was a joint venture between State Patrol and Vancouver Police. So the men caught in these cases can wind up serving more time than men who were convicted of actual SA and rape children. While there are no statistics and comparing sentencing among different states and such things, Washington's criminal code has some particularly draconian. Come on, dude. Guys, do you hear this language? Oh, it's not fair. These poor... How about if one of these guys showed up to this author's house when his kids were by themselves? That's just the thing, is there's people who that don't think about things until it might apply to them or it actually happens to them, He said, my back, please.
Yeah, two things with that. One, it's hilarious that one of the states on the left coast is talking about draconian.
Yeah,
right?
Oh man, isn't that the truth?
And
what's that?
I was gonna say, and second, once the guy is going into someone else's house,
yeah,
they're not going after you, right? You went there. So
guys,
anyway.
Washington State is so nuts. I knew a guy in high school where his dad was an officer in the Marine Corps, and these guys broke into their house, and his dad was like, hey, look, you guys can take anything you want, but you come up the stairs where my wife and kids are, and there's going to be some repercussions. And those guys came up the stairs, and needless to say, all three of them are no longer with us, right? Do you know that these three guys' families sued? They sued for wrongful deletion. And it took years for my friend's family to actually have the cases like thrown out or whatever. Imagine your family member breaks into someone's house with bats and chains and all that other stuff to do harm and steal, and then you have the nerve to sue them when they play stupid games and win stupid prizes. That's Washington State for you. Absolutely nuts, man. Okay. So have some particularly draconian provisions that result in unusually lengthy sentences. The legal standard for making an arrest, police things, is not high. Washington law allows undercover officers to use deception, trickery, or artifice. They can fake sympathy or friendship. The police need only demonstrate that their target took a substantial step towards meeting the undercover officer. In Hambrick's case, that step was following the officer into the house. It can also be by stopping to buy condoms or even just parking near the house. Like what? This is crazy. This is crazy. He's acting like this is a bad thing, right? Jurors who served in Net Nanny cases.
Can I ask you a question? Because I came in a little late. So what did the guy at the beginning of this article say? What he wrote this article for? Like, was he bring awareness? I don't, because I missed the beginning. Because everything you're saying is right. Like, what does he think? What did he think was gonna happen?
From what I'm getting, he doesn't like these style stings at all.
So he's trying to expose. Okay.
And this is the knucklehead who got caught in this sting in his dumb mom. I mean, come on.
So he's trying to bring awareness of this type of.
I guess it's like the whole audio part, but I don't know.
Okay. I appreciate it.
The only thing worse than his writing would be his voice. I lost my place. Okay. So jurors who serve in Net Nanny cases often they express surprise that the defense doesn't argue entrapment. And in fact, an entrapment defense is almost never successful in sting cases, according to Jessica Roth, a professor of criminal law at Benjamin and Cardozo School, or whatever. In most criminal trials, prosecutors, they present their versions of events, and the defense lawyer tries to poke enough holes in their account to produce reasonable doubt in jurors' minds. But entrapment is an affirmative defense that effectively requires the defendant to admit wrongdoing. Yes, I wrote those texts that talk about having S3x with a 13-year-old, while at the same time arguing that he was manipulated by the police into doing something he wouldn't normally do, engage and talk with a 13-year-old. So he's saying that, yeah. So you would have to argue that you were guilty, but you're only guilty because someone told you. But in this case, you would still be admitting to being guilty of trying to go for a 13-year-old. So he's trying to argue that this is kind of a darned if you do and darned if you don't type thing. I mean, does anyone have any comments there? You know what I mean? Anyone? Uh-oh.
No.
Gracie's on the stream. What's going on, my friend?
Hey,
How are you?
good. How y'all doing?
Good. Welcome, welcome. It's Friday. Getting some TCAP related stuff going on.
Yeah.
There are just times where I look at some TCAP adjacent stuff, right, and it just catches my eye, and I think that this is it's all in this TCAP orbit, and this article just kind of really jumped out because to people like us, we see like the good that TCAP does and these types of stings, because I have never even come close to ever being in a place where I would ever chat with a child again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for a person like this to have a complete opposite viewpoint of what all of us do is just so crazy to me.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And I would add to that, there's so many stops between you and getting to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just like a million different stops that you have to walls that you have to plow your way through, that you have to break through to get to this point. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So many God-given opportunities to get away from what you're about to get yourself
That's
into.
True. That is, and in some states, it's illegal to even transmit material or even have those types of talks, right? Well, so you can argue, oh, well, when you get in the car and you actually go there, come on, man. Let me see. Cartoon Blue says, what are your thoughts on James Fairbanks and his reasoning for deleting? I haven't heard this case yet. I think there's a news article here. So he actually went and found a guy that had done something, and he took him out, huh?
Yeah.
And he got.
I've got an article up now. James Fairbanks sentence 40 to 70
just
years.
Hold on. If you're on here,
yep.
Here, please don't say. Okay.
And the deletion of a. Yeah. I get you. Sorry. I'll
perfect. Please
sentence 40 to 70 years in the deletion of someone who did not belong in society.
Mm.
So Fairbanks pleaded no contest to the deletion in the second degree of convicted guy who doesn't belong in society last year. So 47 years. I wonder what this guy did. Right. But this gets back to, what we were talking about before. What should the penalty for certain crimes be? And the reason that in so many ways this is so prevalent is that, there is hardly any penalty, right? There are people who do things that are worthy of them no longer being in society in a very permanent way.
Yeah,
and yet they're free to walk in the street. So it's no wonder that people, when they see, okay, the system that's supposed to be taking care of this isn't doing anything. So they feel the need
and with these types of crimes, even if it happens once, it's too many, right? Like that's the thing that people don't understand, the damage that this does. Any type of S3x crime, right? People who do this, I believe in people who you might end up getting in a fight, assaulting people, whatever. There's levels to crimes, and you do your time, you rehabilitate, fine, right? You might have got in a fight, you hit a guy, he hit his head on the pavement, passes away. You deserve, but you could have a chance. This is the one thing, guys, where I honestly believe if it shouldn't happen at all. If it does, that's it for you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I have no sympathy, no empathy, no nothing. You know what I mean? And anyone who does, I want to go to Joshua's statement. Guys, this is so true. Guys, chime in here. Have anyone heard of this MAPS thing?
Yeah, a minor attracted person.
Have you heard of this?
Oh my Lord, yes.
Guys, I was guys, I talk a lot, right? It's rare that I'm speechless, right? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was like, this person's serious. They are trying to take these pretos and make them into their own category of, preference. That's crazy.
And
It's
to
like
anybody that thinks, oh, that's absurd, that's never going to go anywhere, that's how it starts. It's
Yeah,
a
it does.
slippery slope.
It is.
And they
It is.
try to make it normal, and they try to put it in everywhere to where it's not that big of a deal anymore.
Yep.
And it becomes a huge deal, which
Yep.
to me it already is. But
it's like the whole NAMBLA thing. Who remembers the whole NAMBLA thing?
Guys, I got it. I found this. An assistant professor. Okay,
that's true.
This guy, Alan Walker, an assistant professor at a Virginia university, is taking heat for saying it isn't necessarily immoral for adults to be, attracted to, prompting college officials to put out a statement clarifying the claim. Alan Walker, who teaches sociology and criminal justice at Old Dominion University, made the controversial comments while discussing attracted MAP and pedos during a November 8th interview. He said, a lot of people, when they hear the term pedo, they automatically assume that it means offender.
Shark Tamer. Hey man, I don't know if you mean the words that we're using now, but we have to use certain words for YouTube or we get yeeted off the stream. So we call it a Florida PD with PD here because we were watching David Schumacher in the Fort Myers stream and we got shut down. So we had to use careful words or the algorithm's gonna get us. So if anyone wonders why we say deletion instead of the S word, deleted instead of the M word, S3x or whatever, it's because we don't want to get taken down. So
I'll read one last process. Walker's acknowledgement of the term minor, maps suggests to some that it is okay to be attracted to, but said labeling anyone wholly by their desires, it doesn't indicate anything about their morality.
Clown world.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, guys. Look, I'm gonna find this video of this guy. He was trying to advocate because he said that he was a non-acting pedo, meaning like his preference was that, but he just didn't act on it, right? And he was trying to campaign for these people. And this guy, yo, if you want to see a person who you don't leave around your kids, he had a hook hand, like a hook hand. He had an eye patch and like this bald mullet, dude. I was like, oh my god.
Did he have the glasses with the ridge on the top?
Yeah, he had the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. I'm like, dude,
come on.
I would not leave my dog around this guy, let alone my kids. Come on, man.
I wouldn't leave my bag of Doritos around this guy.
And he's like, I'm trying to be a person of outreach here. It's like, dude, are you sure you want to be the type of person to be the spokesman for anything? Like, man, what? I think that there's a bridge left unguarded somewhere. Because, God dang. All right, so we were at in entrapment cases, the accused often takes the stand to give their side of the story, which rarely works in their favor. Good. Even the most law-abiding person subject to cross-examination can look unreliable. Of the nearly 300 Washington state sting arrests, I was able to find only one case in which an appeals court threw out the charges on grounds of entrapment. Good. And see, guys, in the South and stuff, or in Middle America, they don't even have. They don't. There is none of this legal flim flam of flimmerall. They get you, The State Patrol points to the conviction rate as confirmation of Net Nanny's success. Those numbers indicate a well-run operation that is legally and structurally sound, is very effective in apprehending and prosecuting those intent on causing harm to children. The online stings have had widespread and positive media coverage throughout the state. I wonder if those are online, guys. If someone posted those, that would be cool. I'm gonna try and find those. Let me see. News conferences are well attended. News releases are reprinted verbatim, particularly by small town papers. Como News, oh man, I haven't heard them in a while. They used to be the news that I used to watch in Seattle. Said the men faced grape charges, though the charge was actually child rape. Wait, hold on, guys. wait. So how's he trying to argue here that you would think that if you had to put a charge attached to your name, that you would rather have the first one here and not the second one, right? I mean, they're both bad. But anyways, a headline in Lakewood Patch read, "Child Pretos Nabbed." Washington State Patrol News releases describe the men arrested as dangerous pretos. And yes, they are, though they have not yet been convicted of a S3x crime. Stats provided by the state police can also be misleading. Oh, dude, who is this guy? I mean, are we supposed to feel bad for these guys? Stats provided by state police can also be misleading, creating the impressions that hundreds of children were on the verge of, hey, man, if these guys had done what they did and gotten away with it, they would have probably kept doing it. So when the police say half the cases of arrested men involved children 11 years of age or younger, the reality is that half the fictional children in the scenarios written by the police were 11 or younger.
So something kind of funny about that.
Fuck this guy, man. I'm sorry. What were you saying, bud?
Well, the bleeding hearts who get incredibly uppity about how 1 in 4 girls growing up are messed with, right? Yeah. And all of this is to attack men, of course, but it's amazing how on the one hand they can talk about that and the extreme danger of it and yada yada yada, but then on the other hand this guy's saying it's not like this stuff happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
So the double standard is just kind of interesting.
I just don't understand it. Well, I mean, I'm glad that I don't, or else I'd agree with this knucklehead, right? For Josh's statement here, right? Liberal or conservative, independent, I think that we can all agree on the welfare of children, right? Of the vulnerable. I think no matter what your political views are for the big issues like, baby deletion or, any of that or the economy, I think where we can all find common ground is children need to be protected. And I would rather have them take quote unquote draconian methods to get knuckleheads like this off the street to protect children than have not enough protection. You know what I mean? Like, I have never once looked at a Chris Hansen thing or any of these and said, you know what, that's messed up. What if that would have been me? Come on, you know what I mean? There's no way that I'd end up in that situation,
Well, exactly, and that's
it goes
back to the stop. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I understand.
There's the what I call the "it could happen to anybody" test. So people will say certain things happen, and people will say, "Well, it could happen to anybody." And there are things that can, and there are things that can't. And this is one of those things. No, this can't happen to anybody. Once again, this. You have to plan to do this type of thing and go and get caught. There's just so much that has to happen, dude. Like there should be no sympathy. There should be no understanding,
room,
right?
Huh? And a role playing chat room, right?
Exactly.
Like what's his name said. Yep. Here we go. And Tuesday in December 2015 email to his superiors, a state police captain wrote why they should do more stings. Plea bargains start at 10 years in prison compared to other criminal cases that can take a year or longer. It may result in a few years in prison and cost hundreds of man hours and still only result in one arrest. This is significant ROI. That's hilarious. He's like, hey, man, they come to us and they always plead out. This is great. Mathematically, it only costs $2,500 per arrest during this operation. Considering the high level of potential offense, there's a meager investment that is, hold on. So this is part of the email? Okay, I was going to say it. I know the author is not saying this, yet most men caught in these raids post a low risk to the public. That is BS. According to Dr. Richard Packard, a past president of the Washington State chapter of the Association for the Treatment of course, he's one of these. Dude, now I don't even want to get into.
Yeah, definitely not an unbiased source.
Yeah, who have examined about 36 men arrested cyber stings around the state. They say that relatively few, maybe 15% of men they saw pose a moderate to high risk. Many have addiction problems. Oh, please. Many have addiction problems and suffer from, look at this. This is excuses. Excuse 1, many have addiction problems. Excuse 2, suffer from depression. Excuse 3, anxiety or autistic. Look, or are pathetic and lonely people, guys. Well, okay. Imagine if I came and stole your car, and I was like, well, I'm a pathetic and poor person, pathetic and broke person, right? Or maybe I came up and punched you in the face and said, well, I'm just an angry guy. What? How can you make that as an excuse? They're pathetic and lonely people. Some are in marriages where things aren't going great. They're socially inept. But this is the way of having sex and having a relationship. They're just stupid and making not very well thought out decisions. Here you go, guys. They weren't looking for kids, but there was this one ad that caught their attention because they were looking for kids.
So, I have some ideas on why their marriages might be struggling.
What's that?
So the comment on the screen, I don't know a single woman that hasn't been SA'd or SH'd, right? And where we hear that, and we can recognize there's a reality to it, but it's not always reflected in the statistics, right?
Well, guys, so if I can interrupt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what they did, right? Okay. Organizations like Now, right? There used to be women's organizations that back in the day, in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, right? They were trying to make gains, right? Like they needed funding, they needed all these things to get things for women, whatever they might be. But now, basically, they've won. They've got what they wanted, but they want to keep the money coming. So they have to go to this nebulous boogeyman. Every year, they always make it seem like they can't actually win, because then what happens? When you get paid for the fight, you have to keep the fight going. Does that make sense? If Now couldn't make up these numbers to say, like think about it. They said 3 out of 5 women on campuses get SA'd. Why would anyone, if that was true, why would anyone send their daughters to college? If she had a 3 out of 5 chance of having something bad happen to her. It's all about money and interest.
And just real quick, I prescribe, I'm a curmudgeon. I'm an older guy. I've been divorced, but I still try to operate like the majority of women are good women and the majority of men are good men, because society couldn't exist if that wasn't the truth. And it's only a small minority of men that commit that kind of stuff. It can't be more than, like, the majority of men don't do that stuff, and too many women. It's like you just can't operate like every single guy is gonna assault a woman, because it's just not true. It's just not. Like, women can walk around for the most part, and a lot of places in the United States, at night by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to keep spewing this argument, like they're just constant, predators in the shadows waiting to get you. I'm just not buying it, dude. I'm not.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, I agree. I agree with that. The thing that I was going to say though is a lot of the time that this happens, it's not documented. So this guy, he's going on and saying, "Oh, there's a very low likelihood that this would happen." Well, no, actually, it's a very low likelihood that if it did happen, you would know about it. Right? That's kind of the point I'm getting.
That's exactly right.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Yep, it's very.
Wow.
That's very, very, very true. And here's the thing: here's the thing about not knowing your neighbors or any of that anymore, right? See, because back in the day, back in the 1910s, 20s, 30s, or whatever, everyone knew each other. So that if Uncle Steve was doing stuff to all of the men of the neighborhood got together and usually beat Uncle Steve half to death. right. That there was justice that was meted out by the community, right? And now it's like
in certain parts of the world, it's still like that.
Yeah, but now no one knows their neighbors. People drop their kids off to some daycare where they don't know the people, or it's just crazy. And it happens that people don't watch out for each other anymore.
Yeah, or like you have a lot. This could sound bad, but a lot of times. When coaches, take advantage of young boys on football teams and wrestling teams, it's gonna sound bad, but it's because their parents, particularly their single mom, dropped them off and left to get a break away from their son or their kids. Don't ever leave kids alone with non-custodial people, period.
Yeah.
And not just men. I have a bunch of friends who were younger boys who were taken advantage of by their babysitters or their friends' moms or their teachers. So,
well, and do you remember, guys, the video that I posted about the lady who had over 100 victims? Even she said, "Don't leave your kids with strangers." So when the crazy lady's making sense, something's going on. So, but so hold on. So many have addictions, blah blah blah. So they weren't looking for kids, but there was this one ad that caught their attention, and a sizable percentage of those arrested are themselves in their late teens or early 20s and may, according to scientific research, exercise poor judgment. Dude, does this guy know what accountability is at all? They might exercise poor judgment because the regions of the brain that control risk taking are not yet fully developed.
Yeah. Without giving them any excuses, I think a big part of that is people don't grow up anymore until they're a lot older, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the 1910s, 1920s. You're 17, you're an adult, right?
Yeah.
You're going to work, you're eligible to go into the military, all of these different things. You're an adult. You know how to run your life.
Look at the founding fathers, man. George Washington was how old? And then, when he became president, and he was like, was it 22 or something? I mean, that's crazy.
Well, anymore you get people who are my age, and I'm not the oldest, but I'm definitely not the youngest, but they just don't know how to be an adult. They're still taken care of by their parents, and they still have that childlike thinking where, I might get into a little bit of trouble for this, but no, they don't realize they're playing in an adult world now.
Well, another thing too, why especially young men aren't growing up. Is because oftentimes I talk to some of my female coworkers, and I'm like, well, men won't grow up, and I'm trying to date, blah blah blah, and I go, men don't grow up because we don't have to anymore. We used to be just fine with meeting a girl, courting her, going out to meet her dad, saying what our intentions were, taking her to the malt shop. You know what I'm saying? You guys hang out, and then you get married. Consummate on the first night, have some kids, work work. Your kids grow up and retire. Men were okay with that deal. We were.
Yeah, we just fine with having a knock on your door of your house and be like, "Oh, Mr. Smith, I'd really like to take your daughter out on a date."
But then
we were fine with that.
The 60s and the 70s, all these women said that's wrong. You know, that's oppressive. So now guys are like, wait a minute, you are going to be with as many men as you want to teach us all a lesson. Wow, that showed us. You know what I
mean? Also, if I can say one thing, so like one thing I don't understand is this. I appreciate. I'll never say anything bad about women in the workforce because they are necessary. But this romanticized dream that men just had it so good at work. You know that OSHA wasn't, the place that makes sure that workplaces are safe to work and people don't get deleted at work only became a thing in 1971. So before 1971, safety at work wasn't very regulated. So guys would, a lot of guys were overworked. You could
get your arm cut off in the machine.
But this like romanticized view of history, it must have been so fun for men to go out and work. Was it really?
Oh, here we go. So during his 40-year career, this Packard guy has worked for both prosecutors and defense lawyers. His testimony was instrumental in preventing the release of Robert Lowe, who was convicted of, doing bad stuff to this woman. He's done whatever. Anyways, he looks at people on death row. He is well acquainted with the human capacity for evil, but that is not what he sees in most net nanny cases. The vast majority do not need to be in prison to keep society safe. That is BS. That's basically him saying that Chris Hansen and TCAP is just not doing any good, and all the guys they caught. Oh wow! I live in a small town, and 2 years ago, the guy did. Wow! Is the trial still going? Golden Goliath? I mean, did he get convicted of anything, or is it still ongoing? Let us know. Here we go. A national study from 2017, 87% of 334 men that were convicted in such things had no record of prior, concurrent, or subsequent convictions. That doesn't matter. Currently, about 150 men convicted in Washington stings are still incarcerated. If the psychologist estimates are correct, as many as 125 of them may not be deviants and pose a low risk. Well, they should have done what they did. Some cotton stings are violent. Pretos, take Curtis Pouncey. His name is Pouncey. If that's not irony, what is, guys? They call him Pouncey. Whose history of crimes includes raping a 13-year-old he picked up, as well as a 19-year-old. In August 2018, after a long term of civil commitment, he was released under supervision. Just 6 months later, he got arrested in Net Nanny sting for attempted rape. He is now serving life. The law, however, doesn't distinguish between the truly dangerous and the low risk. And without alternative sentencing, which might be a mix of community supervision and a short-term by parole, mandated therapy, and short jail term, in some cases waiving the registry requirement, there is no middle ground. In April 19, as the virus of unspecified origin spread through nation's prisons, Jay Inslee, the governor, granted release to 1,100 inmates. Anyone convicted of a violent crime, SA, however, included the men do it. Good. So he didn't get out early. After Jay's Hambrick was arrested, the police checked his criminal history. He had none. He gave them permission to examine his phone for child stuff. They found none. He consented to a search of his vehicle. That didn't turn up anything either. He waived his Miranda rights. Why? Why? Guys, I say this every single time. Never waive your rights. Ever. I don't care if they caught you in the vault with the money in your hands. Never waive your rights. Well, don't do that anyways. But guys, please, if you're ever being questioned by the police, if you're ever in a police station, they are not your friends. They are not. They are not. And I'm not anti-police, guys. I'm anti-bad police. I'm pro-good police. But at the same time, I'm pro-rights, guys. You have your rights for a reason. Okay. He answered all their questions. They asked how often he, did stuff to himself and what he thought about what he did, and what he thought of what he did, what his fetishes were, and what type of woman. He said, my type is tall, redheaded, sophisticated, educated, book-wearing, glasses, outdoorsy, but not, too outdoorsy. We have someone new. Welcome, my friend. We're just talking some TCAP related stuff. And then let me see. They pressed him on why he wanted to meet with the 13-year-old. He answered that he didn't believe she was 13. Her picture didn't look like she was 13. He thought that she might be a grown woman engaging in role play. People online lie all the time. Role playing chat room, right, guys?
He thought she might.
So he went to see for himself. Let me drop the link one more time.
I don't understand the whole role playing world, but why would someone be online pretending to be? Well, I get it when the old people pretend to be younger than they are, but usually it's the opposite, right?
Yep.
Where if there's a 13-year-old, she's going to pretend to be 17, 18 years old.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I'm limited in my experience with stuff like that. So
yeah. I don't understand how there's just no excuse for this.
No, and that's all it is. That's the word. That's an excuse. That's so.
So they said people. So he went to see for himself. So when a woman who appeared to be in her 20s opened the door, he followed her inside for fun stuff. I do not believe that you came here to verify if this girl was 21. The detective said. You couldn't. Here you go. His name is Jace. So, tough night you had there, Jace. And so what made you come down here, Jace? I don't think that I believe that you came here to verify that this girl was 21. do you
have condoms on you there, son?
Oh man,
what's the alcohol for? What's the alcohol for in your truck there, son?
That lady is my favorite, dude. She is my favorite. She is the best interrogator. And then there's a guy. I'm gonna do Kenneth Brinkman next, guys. There is someone who requested Kenneth Brinkman, and I was watching his interrogation, and that guy is hilarious. That detective, he's yelling back parts of the chat log. You said that you don't waste loads. What does that mean? He's like screaming at this guy. It's hilarious. Okay. If she was 13, I was going to turn around and walk away. After the arrest, he lost both jobs. Oh, I'm sure that 7-Eleven or whatever is just crushed that you don't work there anymore. Right?
I'm sure that Carl's Jr. is going to miss him.
During the 15 months he awaited trial, he rarely left the house. Well, I guess he didn't really leave the house much anyways, right? It was all but impossible to explain to people what had happened. In May 2018, Hambrick had a bench trial and took the stand on his own behalf. Among the witnesses were undercover police, Detective Robert Givens, what does it matter? Detective Robert Givens, a middle-aged man. What does that matter in this? Are they trying to say that, he was trying to reiterate that it wasn't like a 13-year-old girl? He was a middle-aged man. Testified that he had written all of Gamer Girl's emails and texts. Officer Heather Janet, dressed in her police uniform, told the court that she had posed for the photo and invited Hambrick in the house. Guys, hold on. Back. Okay. And Gracie, can you chime in here too, right? Now, we are all, males, females, black, white, old. We all have our differences, but we can celebrate them and use them for different utility, right? Do you think that it's sexist to have like a young looking female cop do this? I don't think so, because what am I gonna do? I'm a 6'3" black guy, so I can't do it, right? But do you think? I mean, could let's just say that could someone argue that they're asking me to do this because I'm a young woman, right? Like, do you think that case? Well, nowadays probably.
Well, what are they going to do? Ask Robert Givens to get some pictures taken of him? Oh, I'm a 13-year-old teenager girl. So.
I think that strategically speaking, having a female as, the decoy that messages and everything, they can kind of get into a 13-year-old girl's mindset and the way that a 13-year-old girl would talk because they were one.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that it's funny that these people, we try to come to this culture where like race is not that big of an issue, but it seems like we're going backwards. And I'm saying this as a black guy, right? But what I'm saying is anyone that would argue that they shouldn't have used why does the female officer have to be the decoy? If we're trying to stop a Mexican gang, right? A Hispanic gang, you think that we would have the Hispanic officers go undercover, right? I mean, you can't argue that. We can't have like Officer Wu and Officer Muhammad dress up and try and go in there and take down the Norteños. It's not gonna happen, So, but okay. So Officer Heather Janet's dressed in her uniform and told the court that she had posed for the photo and invited Hambrick into the house. At the time of the photo, she testified she was about 24. What does that matter? Hambrick and his mother were so confident that he would be acquitted that the two celebrated over coffee during a recess.
Can I just say, I have seen this so much with the mothers just absolutely refusing to believe that their sweet little baby would do something bad. And in all the interrogations, I mean, with some of the most famous like murder cases and stuff, you see that all the time.
You say deletion and not
yes, I'm sorry. I'm not a YouTuber.
No worries.
Well, Gracie, the worst one I ever saw was there's an episode of 2020, and this guy he went off to college and he was a complete degenerate, and his parents were rich and they were giving him money, but he was failing in school, so they're going to cut him off. But he was Mr. Party guy at school, right? So he drove home, got an axe, and cleaved up his mom and dad with an axe, right? Put one right in his mom's face. The dad didn't make it, but the mom survived. She got an axe to the face, and she called 911, and she did not want to believe that the son was the one that did it. She defended him in court. They had
what?
Yes, they had. So he drove this bright yellow Jeep Wrangler. They had video of him driving home through toll bridges during the time before and after, matching the time and distance from the house. They had all this evidence, and she refused to believe it. He put an axe through her face. She had to get surgery on her face, and she was with him in court defending him, saying that he didn't do it.
I have a story. I used to work at a I used to work with people that had committed crimes, right? And I'm not going to say where or for how long or when, but there was someone that I used to supervise, and she was this like cute young Asian woman, right? And I was like, what in the world is she doing here? So she was a dental hygienist, and she came home and caught her husband cheating. So she put one. She grabbed the chopper and put one in the back of his head, right, and then ran. She came back. He was still alive. She called the cops. They came. He lived. She did her. I think it was like 4.5 years. They're still. When I met her, they were still together. They were still together, dude. He was there with her in the office. Absolute clown world, man. But anyways, so they thought that they were gonna hold on. So they celebrated over coffee. So when the judge announced the verdict, they went numb. Guilty on both counts. Attempted rape and communication with a minor for immoral purposes. Yeah, I gotta check out this Dateline episode, man. I'll have to add that to the list. He said, "Now that's true love." Okay. Based on emails and text, the judge found the defendant clearly expressed by words and conduct that he intended to have S3x with the 13-year-old. Hamrick's first thought was he's joking. For the first time, it really dawned on me. I was going to prison, just like Jeff Stacy. Please don't take me to jail. I looked around. I saw my Aunt Maureen crying, my Aunt Sally crying. I saw my mom crying. I just broke. Before being led away, he was permitted to give his mom a hug. She rubbed his back as if he was a little boy, and their sobs filled the courtroom. That's funny how they don't mention his father, right? He was.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They don't mention any of the men.
Nope, not at all. He was transported to Clark County Jail, strip searched and dressed in an orange jumpsuit. The one size fit all, right? I sat in the corner of the cell, knees to my chest, hugging them, and I couldn't stop crying. The judge sentenced him to 18 months to life and a minimum of 10 years on the RSO. Under Washington law, the parole board has the option of extending the incarceration of offenders like the Net Nanny defendants indefinitely. Whoa! So basically, was this around when I was there? Hold on, I can't remember, but so basically, the community corrections, they can actually send you to jail for an indeterminate amount of time, up to life, if you violate. So within weeks, Kathleen Hamrick, now 55, rented her house and purchased an RV, which she paid a family to keep parked in their backyard, minutes from Washington Corrections Center in Shelton. Guys, if you have never been to Shelton, Washington, never, ever, 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 ever go there. Dude, Shelton sucks, man. It's one of those out in the middle of nowhere, like it used to be logging towns, you know. Then the spotted owl came and kind of ruined everything, you know. So, she's fiercely protective of her son and rarely missed a visiting. So now she drove an RV all the way up to near the jail. I chose to have Jace. She says, I was 30. I wasn't married. Big surprise. I don't have a boyfriend, so I picked up. Look, I was 30. I wasn't married. I didn't have a boyfriend, so I picked a man to father a child.
There you go.
Kathleen made a career as a computer programmer, a job that she's been doing for 35 years. And she could do from the RV. She's been married and divorced 3 times. Well, that tracks. Yeah. Mother and son traveled together to Morocco, Central America, Mexico, and all over Europe. Though not religious, she preached kindness. After Jace's trial, she started a blog and she calls Lady Justice Myth. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Let's see. What Lady
and she's never disciplined her son a day in his life.
Justice Myth.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, I wonder what the statistics are on fatherlessness in so many of these predators' homes.
It has to be 70. It probably has to be 80-90%, dude.
I would have to guess it is much higher.
Guys, look, I'm Black, and I can say this. The number one issue facing Black America today is fathers not being in the homes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, we have this revisionist history where we act like Blacks don't know how to make families and be from Reconstruction to like 1965. Blacks were married at an 85% plus clip. There were no out of wedlock births. You think about all the organizations, these HBCUs and all these organizations that are primarily Black were built back then. If you ask most Black people, when was the best time to be Black, they will say the Harlem Renaissance. They'll say all the generation that gave birth to Dr. King and Malcolm X and Ella Fitzgerald and all these figures, right? So you can say that people just act like our current state today is what's always been. This didn't used to be the case. During Reconstruction from about, was it 1885, 1890-ish, to 1960, Blacks started out lower, but we were actually having more upward trajectory than whites were. So it's not like Blacks don't know how to do this, right? But what happens is when you break the community up and you make immoral things the norm, all of a sudden you have bad things start to happen, you know?
Well, and also, just real quick, I'll come back. 53% of Black men in the United States have no children. 53%. 27% are married. So this myth about Black men abandon their children. No,
16% of Black men are responsible for 80% of the children.
And so, just so you guys know, 60% of African American women that have more than one baby have more than one baby father. So this myth about Black men left their kids, no, the majority of the time that wasn't the truth.
All right, are you guys ready for this? Okay, the Lady Justice Myth. Look, all right, so we'll go into the J story here in a second, right?
Wait, wasn't what's his name going to say something? Before I cut him off with the stats.
Were you saying, Alex?
Well, I was going to say a big part that went right along with that too is the father was replaced with daddy government, right?
100%.
Yep. Income, and it has to do with the dehumanizing of fathers. It's men were just seen simply as an income source, and hey, we will be that income source for you. Therefore, you're incentivized even to not have that father in the home.
Yeah.
And then again, you see women having children with as many men as they can. And what happens? The government comes in to continue to provide more and more and more. So these things are incentivized.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. That's true. Here's the thing. There's I was watching this video and this Asian girl, she was like, I'm from Hong Kong. We don't have single moms there. If you have babies that are wedlock, you disappear. She said, in Hong Kong, they don't play. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. If you incentivize people to do stuff, they're going to do it. Because here's the thing, guys. If I was going to play Gracie, Doug, MPA, and Alex in a game of poker, and I knew there was one table that was where I knew the dealer, and he was going to help me win, or the other one where we were all equal, why would I not, if I wanted money, not play in the loaded table? If you look at like the child support court, right? They set it up to where a certain group of people can abuse it. It's just so here we go. Citizens Against Government Entrapment is what this site is. The Cage Group. So now she has an acronym, guys. CAGE, right? illegal police, IAC proactive stings, circumvent laws, steal taxpayer money by manipulating our emotional, instinctual fear of child abuse. Guys, is he serious? Police run illegal proactive stings where they are supposed to be looking for pedos. Yet each prosecution nets the state a lot of money. So instead of following rules and the contract signed by each police division, they break the rules, creating criminals out of law-abiding citizens. What? So you see, these proactive stings are not allowed to post to consenting adult-only websites, but they do. Why? Because unsuspecting men looking for companionship in the right places would have no reason to doubt an adult was already corresponding. Additionally, police will also send out photos of the minor. Guys, this is nuts. This is the antithesis of who we are. Of the TCAP fans. They're the anti-TCAP fans. Wow. You might not believe that. Wait. So, additionally, police send photos, blah, blah. It's not enough to make you think that you're talking with a consenting adult. When you get to the agreed location, the adult, you see how she emphasized that from the photo, will come to greet you. So when you enter the home, you're arrested for attempted rape of a child. You might not believe this to be true, that the police would be so dishonest. My son didn't believe it either, and he's about to be sentenced to 6 years to life. Please read my blog as I unfurl this cultural atrocity, having first-hand knowledge. I will expose these truths in the hope of educating people and creating change. At some point, I will want to start a petition with our concerns to my local representatives.
And there's actually people that support that.
Says you can buy their shirt.
Oh yeah, look. Cat Wag said there's a lady that had 8 baby daddies because if one dies, there's still 7 left to pay. Yeah, that was on TikTok. That's true. And guys, if I know that none of my subscribers would ever buy this shirt. Registered social. What? Oh, registered social objector. Oh man, what did he say on it? But Happy Gilmore. If I saw myself wearing that, I'd have to kick my own ass, right? Hold on. Here we go. Just the story. Oh, this is all the story. I wonder if they have. Huh?
I'm just saying, that's got to be a very small group of white single moms she's got there following her.
Yeah, that's true. Jace knows he's talking to an adult. He's absolutely correct. Yeah, I'm going to drop this link in the chat just so, you know what? Maybe I should just do a live, and we should just talk about this because this is ridiculous. Crime, punishment, follow the money.
We should send her some emails asking about her program and everything. And
well, it's interesting. She emphasizes that they use pictures of the adult decoy. Well, what about TCAP where
Josh,
they have actual pictures
no way.
of children?
That isn't true. Is it? No.
What?
That has to be a joke. You said click on the list supporters and it's all guys from TCAP.
And their moms.
Can you imagine you have Donald Morrison on there right before he died, and all those losers, Siebert's in there even. That would be hilarious. Oh look, she says it's time to stop running from gaming addiction. See, that's just excuses, guys. It's all excuse. Ankle monitoring. How electronic monitoring drives defendants into debt. Guys, okay, back up, guys. At what point are we supposed to care? I don't care. I really, really, really don't. This is really, really trying to basically say that her son is completely innocent and that he had no clue that he was going over to meet a 13-year-old.
And she's doing a lot of jumping in hoops and, dressing up her language to make it sound like she's actually.
Dodge, dip, dive, and dodge, right?
well, putting in a lot of effort to make it look like she's actually making sense.
I'd hate to be faced with what would make, I don't have any children, but I would hate to ever have to get to this point where you seriously have to consider cutting your child off. Because, I think that this would be one of those things, you're supposed to love your child unconditionally, but getting caught in a Chris Hansen sting, dude, come on. Like,
yeah, that's
well, true. And that's why I said at the beginning, you can still love your child, but recognize justice has to be carried out. Yeah. Right. You don't get in that way.
I knew my very first girlfriend when I was in my 20s had this friend whose brother was like a known, I could say drug dealer on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And their mom had this big house out in the woods, and he let the daughter stay and the son stay if they needed it. And and one day, because their mom was a nurse and she lived out in the woods, so she made really good money, and she had a big house out there. Anyway, whatever. So she wouldn't stop letting her son live there, and one day he owed these guys so much money that she went on a trip. They broke into her house and stole all the stuff out of his mom's house because of the debt that the son owed these guys. So they literally took everything out of her house, stole it all. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing what that kind of stuff can get you into and what kind of trouble it can get you into.
That's what
somebody that's related to me got a hole blasted into him because he was into that kind of stuff, and he was sleeping on somebody's couch, and a guy came in there and put a hole in him.
Man, that's crazy.
There's a guy I went to school with, and a couple dudes busted into his trailer where his girlfriend and kid were and just gunned him down.
There's a guy that I went to high school with. He won the lottery, right? This is completely off topic, but he won the lottery. He won a couple million, and then he moved to California, and then I guess he was in some club, in some hood ghetto club, flashing money, and someone just shot him and robbed him. I mean, that was it for him,
That's why I would be wearing a black bodysuit that completely covered me from head to toe if I ever won the lottery.
I'd be like Green Man from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'd show up to get my big lottery.
Nobody would know who I was. Yeah, nobody.
I would do. I just travel for 2 years, 3 years.
I'd build a bunker. I'd have an underground house under my house.
And just be left alone. Yeah, that's what I do. Because this is crazy, man. And it's funny. It's all those lottery people end up broke, which is another story. But so she has this blog, many of her blog, and she's rant against prosecutors and the police. Others beg, please don't ruin my son's life with lifelong RSO in prison. After more than 2 years, the blog had 141 followers, all a bunch of bozos, if you ask me. They should all be ashamed of themselves. I bet all 141 people are all part of NAMBLA or whatever. So, or they're all MAPS, The only voice for change has come from a small band of middle and upper middle class parents there you go, Gracie, you are correct. Look at this. The only voice for change has come from a small band of upper middle class parents of young men arrested in Net Nanny. You are correct. It is their
telling you.
parents. Yeah, they share legal information and attend trials of one another's sons. Kathleen Hendrick met Dan Wright on a Florida site dedicated to challenging the SO laws. Good luck in Florida, buddy. You'll find Jimmy Hoffa before you find a way to change the SO laws and the SA laws in Florida, man. Wright, an engineer, and his wife are one of at least 6 families of young soldiers stationed at Lewis McCord who were arrested in stings. All faced discharge from the military and years in prison. Man, the Wright's son Ezra was a 20-year-old Army private when he was caught in a sting. Ezra's a good person, but he's not a leader. Well, what does that have to do with anything? The military needs people who are good at follow. Wait, Ezra is a good person, but he's not a leader. The military needs people who are good at following.
What is? I was in JROTC and we were taught leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership classes, not
right.
That doesn't make any sense.
I gotta drop off.
Okay.
It's always good to be on the panel.
Cool.
It's good talking to everyone. Have a good
Appreciate
one. Okay?
you.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
Friday. I think we're almost done here, guys. Let me see. So the military needs people who are good at following. Wright followed the undercover detective's text to the Sting house. And in January 2019, was convicted of attempted first-degree rape. Citing his clean record military service, his lawyer asked the judge to grant him an alternative sentence that could have included suspending a prison term in favor of probation. In Washington, there are several criteria to qualify. He easily met 4. He had no previous convictions. He had no convictions for violent crime. The offense did not result in bodily harm. He qualified for a sentence under 11 years. The stumbling block to be eligible for the alternative sentence, the defendants must have also established a relationship with connection to the victim. Unfortunately for Wright, there was no victim. I guess we can scroll through. Let me see. The Wrights are conservative religious people. Look, so they're toughening laws. Damn, why do I want to hear that? But yeah, guys, I'll post a link to this article. I didn't realize this was like a whole magazine article because I read the first half. But man, this is... Oh, now he talks about how hard it is for him in jail and all of that. Yeah, but guys, hold on. Let me go to YouTube because there's a guy that I found. Let me look. Hopefully my internet's not acting up again. Hold on. There's a guy that I found that I had no clue. I did not remember this guy at all. Does anyone remember the guy where he was asking the decoy to tell him that she's 19?
I can't think of the name.
Okay. Hopefully my internet's not acting up. I have to hardwire it. But
is father-son here to tell us?
Oh yeah. All right, the father-son. Let's pop quiz Encyclopedia Chris Hansenica, right? He's the dude, Eddie got it right. Yeah, Josh Taylor. I mean Josh Tobias. I got it right. It's Eddie. He's the what is his name? Something in New York guy. Yeah. Dude, you guys are incredible. All right, let's see here. I did not remember this guy at all. So let's just watch this quick. Now I have to stop it every probably like 35 seconds so Florida PD doesn't yeet us off of the internet. Okay.
This man, screen name Ed in NYC,
that's his name, Ed in NYC,
thinking he's talking to a 13-year-old, says, "You feeling horny right now?"
Come on, internet.
Remember this man, screen name Ed in NYC? He's...
Hold on. Let's skip ahead.
Before he'll come into the kitchen, he comes up with a scheme to insulate him.
Guys, this is the... Josh, what sting is this? Is this one from again? Remind me. This is from New York or New Jersey, right?
Himself from possible criminal charges, and he tries to get the girl to play along.
Does anyone remember where this is from? Let me see. Eddie and well, anyways.
Okay, listen, just say something to me.
Here you go. You ready? Oh, Long Island.
What do you want me to say?
I say, Rachel, you're 19 years old, right?
I'm not though.
I'm not though.
No, I'm not.
I don't know that.
I told you I was 14.
I told you I was 14.
So you said text me. What are you talking
No,
about?
no, no. Not as far as I know.
Okay. Look at this guy. Look at this face. You want to talk about a face that you would not tire of punching, right? I mean, seriously. Guys, I don't even know which was that the first the first TCAP investigation was in Virginia. The second one was in New York. Right? Okay, he said this guy is New York City in a nutshell. Come on, internet. Bear with me now.
As far as I know, you're 19 years old, right? Wait. Rachel? Can you read between the lines?
He said, can you...
What a piece of trash.
Oh man. Oh, the first one, that's right, was in New York, and the second one was in Virginia. Hold on.
Between the lines?
When I walk in, Eddie admits.
Do you guys, I think I'm going to change up the whole quick Highlander quickening scenes. I recorded a bunch of them, so you'll probably see different ones for each episode from now on.
He was trying not to incriminate himself.
That's like, I finally found who the contract guy was. The guy who wrote the letter was like, I am not trying to do anything.
My intentions are not anything, so I just want to protect myself, that's all.
Yeah, he does have that Jersey, New York accent.
But she told you on the internet she was 14.
Look at that. That's prime Chris Hansen, man. Look at that. Black suit, dark shirt. Hair all done up good, you know what I mean? This is prime fight and weight Chris Hansen,
19, you're wrong after that.
Oh, really?
Who believes that? Look at his hair all slicked back, Come on.
That's right.
Oh, I think I have too many windows open, guys. Sorry.
That's what I thought she wrote.
You want to see
the 1 second. Josh says he lives in an hour from this house and lived in Virginia. Man, are you sure you aren't unconsciously doing that, Josh? Where you're going and moving near these houses?
transcript?
I'm sure you have it.
He shows it to him. I like when he does the old Chris Hansen slide across the table, you know?
The fact that Eddie is so cunning doesn't surprise law enforcement experts.
Not only are they not stupid, but they're...
Look at the jowls on this guy, right? There was a guy that I used to work with, and he would show up in like Armani suits. I'm talking like really, really, really like nice suits. But dude was like 5'8" and probably about 300 and something pounds. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You know, like, why don't you spend all the money that you're spending on suits and watches? You lose some weight, bro.
Guy looks like Mr. Water Noose.
Yeah, that's like trying to put rims and stuff on a friggin' on a old truck or a Pinto or something, you know? Like, what are you doing?
They're probably above average intelligent. They can be a wide variety of individuals, but a lot of them are well-educated individuals.
That's true, guys. People still do think that a lot of predators are dumb. Well, they are dumb, but they're not educated or whatever. It's like, no, these guys are all types, you know?
We'll get back to Eddie later.
Oh, let's not. Hold on.
I gotta go eat dinner now. So
okay, Gracie, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. And yeah, so we'll have another live on Monday, guys. So that you know. And what's that?
When's the what do you call it? When's our message board coming?
The Discord is
up. The Discord. When's our Discord?
Yeah. I just needed to I had to email Chris Stanton because there's a couple of features he was gonna show me, but I want to make sure that I know how to kind of move around just Discord first. But it is up. I just need to get it to where I need it to be and then send out the link to you guys. But it'll be definitely coming here soon.
All right, and just letting you know, I love the channel. I just found out about TCAP not too long ago, and then I found your channel. Your channel was like the second video I watched about it. And I just decided I'm not going to watch any other videos. I'm just going to go with like all your videos and watch them as they come.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
So that's why I'm always there. I'm always in the comments.
I appreciate you so much. All you guys who all support. I just feel like we all like TCAP, but there's never really been a place like this where we can actively just I'll cuss, I don't care, talk shit and be funny. You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of reactions in Facebook book groups, but it's all posting, but there's nothing active that we can do. So I want to just keep this kind of growing. And I know that with you, Alex, and you, and Josh, Tobias, and all you guys, your support, we can get this thing going pretty big. But we will have the Jeff Sokol party. I think that'll probably be coming in the next couple of weeks as my sub count goes up. But there's just so much there that it'll have to really, really, really be time good. So, but thanks, Gracie. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Discord. I'm excited for my request for the mail carrier video. I'm excited to see your channel grow and everything.
Now, you saw that I did the mail carrier guy, right?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was what's his name? When did I do him? He is excuse me. Eugene Daly. That was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll have to check again.
No problem.
All right.
All right. Take it easy, okay?
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Remember 34-year-old?
I was going to say, I'm going to have to take off too, man, but good chatting with you again. Always fun to interact.
No problem. All right, Alex. Take it easy.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Guys, we're going to try and check out the rest of the very, very last of this and see what we can do. And then we'll kind of bring this to a close. So the link to the article is in my community post. So find the channel. I dropped the link to that goofballs blog about in the chats of this, so you can find that there.
He's a TV producer doing research.
Oh, okay. Oh, Josh, you are. I'm a TV producer doing research for a show. Oh, that's a new one. That is a new one. Oh, man. But yeah, I don't know.
Where are you a television producer?
I work independently right now.
Wait, how do you work? Well, I guess you can be an independent producer, but this guy's story is going to fall apart. So, but hold on. I think I have to move a router in a different spot in my house to make it a little bit better. Let's see. Josh says, I've been watching. Yeah, me too, Josh. I remember watching TCAP live, right? And we used to go out and then so we would wake up hungover on Sundays, and there was always a TCAP marathon, right? And
television too, with Dateline NBC.
At first, this television producer appears a bit camera shy, but then he decides to open up.
I haven't done anything wrong at all. If you go into the transcripts, time
I've read all the
again,
transcripts.
Everything that was said.
Picture this.
Everything.
Picture this. You lying back, eyes straddle your chest. It sounds like you were looking to have a sexual experience with this girl, Rachel, who we were talking about on the internet. I mean, I don't know what other conclusion you can draw.
You can search me for a condom. I don't have one on me.
You can search me for a condom.
I have sex without one.
Eddie thinks he's pretty smooth, and he's not quite finished. He's got yet another excuse why he's not really here for sex.
Besides, she's supposedly a virgin, so she's never had sex anyway, so I certainly...
What? What did he just say? Hold on, guys.
Besides, she's supposedly a virgin, so she's never had sex anyway, so I certainly wouldn't want to be the first.
Kind of sounds like you might have been excited about the fact that she was a virgin in here.
No, I don't think so. You don't see that in there. And in fact, all you see is just little test scenarios.
For the record, it appears Eddie has worked as a TV producer.
I'm very interested in your story. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. I think it's something that you should certainly do more and more, and bag people left and right.
Wow, thanks for the pat on the back. Meanwhile, when it comes to excuses,
he said thanks for the pat on the back. Oh man. Oh, Chris. You and your zingers.
Law enforcement experts say they've heard them all.
Guys, I know that, okay, so there's channels like, for instance, Dave's Lemonade, right? And he reads all the chat logs and tries to psychoanalyze and all this other stuff. Guys, this is not that type of channel, right? This is the place where all of us can get together, point, laugh, mock these guys, you know what I mean, and just have fun conversations about things. That's why this is called TCAP, hang out, right? So you won't really see me trying to be some type of like armchair psychologist or whatever. That isn't me. It's just not, right? And yeah, Josh, SVU, yeah, that's another one where there's always SVU on TV somewhere, right? Always. He just came. I wasn't going to be here, and yeah. So my major focus is just going to be interaction with all of us. Is getting to know all you guys, and also us. Like, oh, hi from New Zealand. All right. Julian, how are you? What time is it there? Oh, man. So, but yeah, that's going to be the whole focus of this channel, and the growth has just been unbelievable. So, all right, you guys, I think that that's all for now. There may have been an update that I was going to show you guys, but I don't quite remember what it was, but I will definitely have it written down for next time. But all right, you guys. Oh, it's noon there. Cool. But yeah, all right, you guys. That's all I have for today. The articles on the community tab, so check that out. If at any time you want to discuss this again, or if you can find any anti-TCAP stuff, let me know, and maybe we can have a show where we can actually look at discussions of people that are anti these types of stings, right? Because I just find it hard to believe that people would actually be against this type of stuff. That is nuts. But all right, you guys, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl, and I am out of here. Have a good one, guys.